Consumption. Hey, folks, thanks for tuning in to the BAM podcast. And that's how you know you are ingesting a quality, high production values podcast into your ear holes. And today we're here with Jacob Blackmon, RPG artist. How are you doing, sir?
I am well.
All right.
How about you?
I am all right. I went to go see a bunch of old World War II planes that were flying through Denver and at a local airport. My kid got to walk around inside a B-17. And
that sounds delightful.
Yeah, he really dug it. So, yeah, that was all right. How was your day?
It was okay. You know, okay. I usually have been trying to spend my weekends relaxing because my weekdays are so hectic and full of things. You know, I spent some time with my roommates and my roommate's girlfriend. We hung out. We went out to eat. We relaxed, caught up on some of our new television, and had a good time.
Okay, sweet. And today we decided, since it's Catter Day, we'll be drawing cats today on the BAM podcast.
Yes. So let me switch this over to the other screen, and we can get started. Share that.
Boom. There we go. I appreciate you going with my my stupid idea as opposed to any one of the numerous paying art commissions that I'm sure you have waiting on your docket.
Like I said, I try to leave the weekends for fun things, and that includes personal projects and things like this. I try not to do any of my paying gigs over the weekend unless I absolutely am coming down to a time crunch or I feel I'm just inspired. You know, sometimes the muse hits you and you just have to follow that muse until the end. So I'm going to draw a cat, and since cats spend most of their time asleep, I'm going to draw this one lying down.
And Sean Vera has joined us in the comments saying, "Good evening, gentlemen." Good evening to you, Sean. Good to hear from you, sir. Hope everything is satisfactory this Saturday up there in Canada. Jacob and I are just talking and drawing cats, so feel free to chime in whenever you want. So I guess we talk about the Super Pets project we've got.
Yeah, I finished that for you, and I'm looking forward to seeing it all done. Yeah,
there's Jacob wrote a manuscript and using the Mutants and Masterminds system for on the theme of Super Pets, because it's kind of been a very niche subgenre in superhero comics for a long time. The adventures of Frore or Ace the Bat Hound, or oh god, poor Supergirl's had like 3 or 4 Super Pets over the years.
Well, it really depends on for Supergirl. It really depends on what you're focusing on. Mostly, she's got Streaksy the Super Cat, and that's her pet. But if you then go into some of the other things, that gets a little more creepy, like the horse, which is secretly like a centaur from ancient Greece who fell in love with her. So it stalks her and wants to be her boyfriend, and it's kind of creepy. It's kind of creepy. And sometimes it turns into a guy and goes on dates with her and hasn't told her that it's actually her horse. So it's a stalker.
The Silver Age was a strange time.
It's kind of creepy, and this was supposed to be romantic.
A lot of Silver Age romances were kind of weird, though. I mean, there's an awful lot of Superman just being comically rude to Lois Lane throughout the Silver Age. So anyway, Jacob finished this manuscript. I've got art by Mr. J.E. Shields, and we're going to publish it. And then found that the DC Comics is doing their own DC Super Pets project. I think a movie, 2022. So we're going to keep the manuscript in the drawer, polish it, which is, let's be honest, probably just means layout and a proofreading, and then try to get it ready to release when that movie comes out, so we can ride those coattails to profit.
Indeed.
This is the kind of marketing genius that goes on here at Fin and Go Games. So hey, there's Sean again. Comment, an example of how the Silver Age was weird. Indeed, sir. Silver Age was deeply, deeply weird. And so yeah, I have got 2 cats currently here at my house. They are a pair of siblings, litter mates. We got from the Boulder Humane Society. And they keep my wife up till like 3 in the morning. They like to knock stuff off shelves. And I sleep really soundly, so I don't hear it, but she hears everything. So this cat looks melancholy, Jacob.
Well, I'm trying to draw it all nice and relaxed.
Okay. Have you ever, there have been various role-playing games focused around cats the last 5 or 10 years. You ever played one?
I have not, but yeah, I know what you mean. Because and there's a video game coming out called Stray, which is it's basically a cat simulator. You play a stray cat that goes outside and explores the world. It's a cat.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. I spent a lot of time playing the Goat Simulator, which it's kind of a low stakes game where you're just this crazy goat who walks around causing chaos. I'm going to show the Stray trailer if you don't mind.
No, go ahead.
Since we're talking about cats and we do gaming, so let's see what this is all about. This is an oddly somber beginning for this. Is that cat wearing a little vest? He is.
Oh, I didn't realize it was like robots and cyberpunk. I thought it was just like modern day.
Yeah, there was a piece of graffiti on the wall that said "R.I.P. Humans." So it's some kind of sci-fi dystopia where humans are gone.
Interesting.
And it's all well, that's an interesting vibe. If I had a PlayStation, I might check that out. I don't know. That's kind of cool. All right, let me share your screen again. And just so our viewers and listeners know, what is your art rig set up again?
I am using a Wacom Simtech. It's a C15, and I'm primarily using Adobe Photoshop. I subscribe to Photoshop Cloud, so yes, I'm using the subscription service. And if the internet goes out, I can't use my Photoshop because that's genius.
Yeah, that's one of the flaws in that program.
I have to give them big ears. The bigger the ears, the more adorable they are.
So here's that game I was thinking of from Evil Hat, Secret of Cats, which is a Fate game.
Oh well, yeah. Uh-huh. That's nice.
Yeah, I don't know. You don't care for the guy's Evil Hat. I kind of dig the concept though. Here's the thing. I don't know how to pitch that game. I don't know how to go to a gaming group and say, "Hey, I got an idea." Playing cats. Which I mean, I don't have a problem pitching Honey Heist. So, hey, we're all comedy bears. Speaking of cats, Sean says, have you seen a polydactyl cat? Cats with extra toes, very common around here, Ottawa, Canada. A friend has owned 5 over the years. I've heard of them. But the story I heard, Sean, was that Ernest Hemingway brought those to North America, and I don't know if that's true. Someone in Key West told me that we were driving by Ernest Hemingway's house. But yeah, they're pretty cool. You ever been around one of those, Jacob?
I don't think I have. Most of the cat species that I have had in the past have just had the usual amount of toes. I think I don't think I've seen any with the extra toes.
Yeah, if I was writing them up for a role-playing game, I would definitely give them some kind of +2 bonus for doing things that require dexterity. But yeah, hang on, let's check that out. Because I got a picture. Boom, right there.
Odd.
It's like they
Interesting.
have thumbs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Evolution happening right before your eyes. Once they get thumbs, they can open doors. They can open can openers. They can open
And
cans.
they won't need us anymore.
No. It'd be like that one episode of Love, Death, and Robots.
Yep. Exactly.
So yeah, I just don't know how you pitch. Maybe it's just my own limitation, but I don't know how I would say, "Hey guys, let's play a game where we're all cats doing cat things."
Yeah, because I don't. I personally have never understood the appeal of games like Bunnies and Burrows, and these are popular games.
Yeah.
I don't get it. I would like to play someone with, I don't know, sentience. And I kind of get the idea that they're supposed to be effectively sentient creatures, but they're not. They're animals.
Yeah.
There is that kind of disconnect I have. I totally get the idea of games like Toon, where you're playing cartoon characters. That I get that. I understand that. I understand playing furries. I get that. The anthropomorphized. But just playing a cat? I don't get it.
Yeah, and it needs some kind of angle. Like it's your cats and it's funny. But yeah, Monarchs of Mao is, I think, set in the world of Pugmire, or by the same people, and it's the same kind of idea. It's basically D&D, but you do cat stuff sometimes. So D&D with whiskers, if you will.
Okay.
And let's see. Other cat-flavored RPGs. Why isn't there cat-flavored dog food?
Because we don't want our dogs getting the idea that it's cool to eat cats. Because it is not cool to eat cats. We love our cats. Cats are adorable. Save the cats.
I'm with you. This is one I haven't heard of. And this is close to what we're doing. Mutants. Everyone plays a cat, but you have superpowers.
Okay. I get that.
Yeah. And Cataclysm. Oh, looks like your cat. It's once again D&D, but you're with whiskers.
Okay.
John,
I know there is there's a game out there that's kind of that where you're I've seen miniatures for this where it's basically you are cats and dogs and birds, but you're also awakened and intelligent, and you have your wizards and fighters, and you go out and do fantasy adventure stuff.
Yeah, some of those Kickstarters have been huge.
Yeah, they've been super popular.
Yeah. So John Wick, who's RPG superstar, he wrote this game called Cat, where it looks like cats are basically protecting people from scary tentacle things. because half of all RPG content these days involves scary things with tentacles. But yeah, so it's a legitimate subgenre. And let's go back to Jacob's picture now. Wow, dude, that is some nice speed you got there.
So yeah, I think I'm done with the line work here. So let me get that. Save, get the line work saved. And add some color.
Wow, this John Wick game looks like it came out in 2021. So, topical here at the BAM podcast, folks. We're on the cutting edge of these things.
Let's see. What color should we make this kitty?
I don't know. I always lean towards tabbies, but...
Like tabbies? You have the golden tabbies, the gray and white and black tabbies.
I don't know. Maybe this cat would work better as a black and white cat, though.
Black and white? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see what we can do here.
Yeah. I actually drew a Siamese last night with my kid for drawing practice because we're geeky and do stuff like that. I like the eyes.
Thank you. I widened them from what I had initially done because, again, like the ears, wider is cuter. It's why anime and manga characters have those big wide eyes, because the large expressiveness is supposed to make you like them. It's supposed to make them endearing, and you go, "Aw, I want to like this person. I want to like this thing. It's adorable." So you must save and protect them.
I'm sure there's some kind of a name for the phenomena, but yeah, like most mammalian babies have those big eyes for the same reason.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you remember that Grant Morrison comic, We Three?
I can't say I do. I'm familiar with that one.
This was okay. Let me give it some context for why I think this is an important book. Grant Morrison, I think, is great at doing modern interpretations of classic characters from the olden days.
Okay.
And his big limitation is he doesn't really bring much emotional content to the material. I mean, I care about him when he writes about Green Lantern because I'm already invested in character. I care when he writes about Justice League because I'm invested in those characters. Ditto with X-Men. But if he's just coming from scratch, it's really hard for me to care about Grant Morrison character because it just doesn't. There's just not a heart there.
He tells a good story, but he's terrible at making you care for the character and why you should be following him. I get it.
Yeah, it's
he has no empathy.
It's really cool ideas without like an emotional core. Anyway, why I think We Three is an important book, it's because it's the Grant Morrison book that actually has a heart. He writes about these three characters, and basically it's a cat, a dog, and a rabbit at some kind of freaky mad science, government-run science lab teaching them to be super soldiers.
Okay.
And they get out, and you really care about these characters in exactly the way you don't usually care about characters in Grant Morrison books. Or you wouldn't if it wasn't a property you've been following since you were a very young child.
Okay.
And it's just nice to see that Grant can actually bring that to a story when it's something he cares about, like animals. And it's good work. It's worth checking out. It's for Vertigo back in the 90s, and it's still in trade. But yeah, it's just nice to see that Grant has those muscles, even if he doesn't use them sometimes. Sean Vera, a psychology prof once told me that we are all hardwired to look after them big eyes. Yep, I would agree. I experienced that painfully the first year of my son's life. There were many nights he just didn't want to sleep, and if he hadn't been so darn cute,
Eat the children. Eat the children.
Don't eat the children, but I can understand why God made him cute, because, yeah, there were nights. So,
And see, this is why scorpion mothers sometimes eat their children, because scorpions are not cute.
It's a beneficial adaptation.
It is not cute at all. So, yeah, I'm a horrible human being.
Well, I was going to make a joke that was, we have the explicit tag, but it was too far, it was a bridge too far, so I will not. So, yeah, you remember, speaking of geeky things adjacent to cats, remember Wing Commander?
Yes.
Remember the bad guys in that game?
Were those the lion people?
Yeah.
Like the kind of based on like the Kazinti from.
Pretty much a straight ripoff of the Kazinti from Star Trek. They were called Kilrathi.
Okay.
And, let me see if I can find.
Well, the Kazinti weren't from Star Trek. The Kazinti were from the Man-Kazin Wars.
Oh, Larry Niven, right?
And Niven just imported them into Star Trek because he was too lazy to write an original script. So he lifted a story from a book he did and just made it into Star Trek. And I despise him for it because I don't like that. That's lazy writing. That's boring writing, and he should be punished for that.
It's bad, and he should feel bad.
It's bad, and he should feel bad. But he has millions of dollars, or however much money he got from the Kazinti stuff, and so just yeah.
They don't really seem to be like in the real canon of Star Trek. They showed up in animated, I think, and in some books. And other than that, I've never seen them. Like
no, they're not. They're not, and they shouldn't be considered canon because again, lazy writing.
Yeah. Well, if we're going to exclude all lazy writing from Star Trek, there's a long list, man. Like a very long list.
Yeah.
But here we go. I found from Wing Commander 2. Yeah, Tiger People.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. Now, in the one where Mark Hamill was in, they had these weird Muppets that were playing the Kilrathi. Actually, it might have been better if they actually had the Muppets in that game. Well, it wasn't. As a game, it wasn't bad, but the cinematics were. Even though you had, McDowell and Mark Hamill, it just kind of. Well, let me show this to you. You can see what I'm talking about.
I remember this game. Because I had friends who played it, so I do recall it. It was a thing.
Yeah, that guy looks like he belongs like in the HR Puffin Stuff TV show.
Yeah.
In the 70s. But Wing Commander was one of those franchises I just loved to death back in my teenage years, and it just disappeared completely after that stupid movie with Freddie Prinze Jr.
Mm-hmm.
So,
well, yeah, it failed as a movie genre, so they weren't going to bother making any more games or anything for it. So,
yeah, and Chris Roberts, the producer, he's now doing MMOs. So, alas, poor Wing Commander, we hardly knew you. But yeah, as far as a cool Battlestar Galactica or ripoff game, that was probably the best we're ever going to get.
Yeah.
So, well, this is looking pretty cool. So it's going to find its way into a familiar art slot, as in for a familiar in a fantasy game.
More than likely, I can easily see this being used as just some nice kitty art, or if someone wants to just show off a a particular spellcaster's familiar. That's what I'm not getting the effect I want. I had it on too soft. Here we go. That looks more like fur.
That does look more like fur. Here we go. From Sean. Star Trek disavowed the animated series for the longest time until someone realized they could still sell it on DVD or iTunes. Oh, wait. So does that mean that the animated stuff is canon?
Some of the animated stuff is considered canon. Some of it is not.
Okay. So they kind of pick and choose like Star Wars does.
Yeah. There are a couple of really good animated series episodes, and much like the original series, there are a couple of there's it is mostly really bad. But there's a few really good ones out there that I love. Like there's the one where they find this ancient ship that's just all that looks like all these buildings it's this huge megalopolis kind of thing, and there's this strange creature. You never get to see it, but I would have at least thought they should have shown it, considering it was an animated series.
Mm-hmm.
That was chasing them and knocking down doors, and they eventually escape the ancient ship, and that was pretty much that. But it was a good episode. It had a lot of drama and suspense, and they're doing the Star Trek thing, which is exploring, finding new fun stuff, which is what it is supposed to be about.
Yeah, I should check out. It's been a long time since I've watched any of the old animated stuff. Although I went through the first season of Lower Decks.
Oh, I love Lower Decks.
Yeah, it's gotten mixed reviews, but I really enjoyed it for the most part.
See, Lower Decks is everything I have ever wanted from a comedic Star Trek series. It mostly takes itself seriously, and they just happen to have silly moments like what happens in real life. And I think that's what makes it as good as it is, and especially with the way the character Mariner is, where she's just so super experienced. It's just she's a slacker. She doesn't want the authority. She just wants to do all the fun space exploring things. And I get that. I understand that point of view. I don't want to, sign paperwork all day and boss other people around. I just want to see the cool alien stuff and fight and punch a Ferengi in the face,
It's kind of like that Gen X audience insert character. I don't have time for all your bullshit. I just want to do the fun stuff. But
yeah.
Sometimes she really reminds me that the show was kind of started by a writer from Rick and Morty, because she kind of has that charismatic nihilist thing going on.
Yeah.
But for a cartoon, they've actually done some surprising character development with her. That one season 1 episode where she was fighting herself in the holodeck, and that kind of movie parody they were doing. The writing was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
She was grappling with her issues, just like they used to do in good Star Trek episodes back in the day.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's I won't say there weren't some clunkers in there, but for the most part, I enjoyed it. I watched it a couple times in the gym. So, and season 2 is out. Oh, Sean, here we go. Wing Commanders series was great, but like a lot of computer games, IPs, studios closures, restructuring, and confusing ownership has caused a halt of production. Heard more than one developer attempt to see if they could buy the rights. Yeah, I would love more Wing Commander games. I spent so many hours in late high school and college playing that stupid game. I feel like there's kind of a dearth of really good space fighter sims out right now, but maybe I just don't have a system that can run them. I know Star Wars Battlefront 2 is out, and I'm guessing that has. I'd be surprised if there was no way you can fly an X-wing in that one. So.
Do you remember the old Elite game from like the 80s and 90s.
Elite Dangerous or something else?
It was something like that. It was in the past. I remember it was called Elite, and they came out with a new one it's amazing. But yeah, you need one of those like high-end computers in order to run it because it's so involved.
Yeah, I used to have a rig like that when I was a single man. Had neon in the box, and it sounded a little bit like a freight train starting up for the first minute of the boot sequence before it quieted down. But yeah, I am mainly playing older, clunkier games now just because they are less resource intensive.
Yeah.
On my system. Also, it seems like I do a lot of gaming with you guys on Monday at lunchtime. Monday at lunchtime on Banff, my lunchtime mountain, noon mountain. We're playing Savage Worlds Pathfinder. Should be a lot of fun. Jason Sunday is going to be the GM, and I hope Jacob will join us. If not, he'll be shouting comments from the peanut gallery. I hope. I almost call it the pizza gallery, which sounds a lot better, really. If you had to choose between peanuts and pizza, I know which one I'm choosing.
Absolutely.
And, yeah, Walt will be there, and I am playing a dwarven priest of Torag called Bro.
You're following Torag? Oh,
I didn't have it. That's what the pre-gen said.
Okay.
I had to go and
You know who Torag is, right?
Enlighten me, sir. Enlighten me.
Okay. Okay. I have very superficial knowledge of Pathfinder, the world. Mostly when I've played when I've played in the world, I have played clerics, and it's usually Saren Ray, who's the sun goddess, or as I sometimes like to pronounce it, Senray Ray, because she's all shiny and bright. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, he's this Torag. He's just
Okay, here we are.
So stoic. He's just this. I'm all about honor and doing what's right, and is the stoicism of the god. He's super serious, and
he's a stoic and serious god who values honor, planning, and well-made steel. That is a broad range of interests. Okay, honor, plan. If we just change that last word, that's a whole different kind of god. He values honor, planning, and well-made leather. All different vibe there.
But yeah, he's basically the big dwarf god.
He values honor, planning, and well-made lemon chiffon. Sorry, I'll stop mad-libbing now. But yeah, but my priest name is Brokar, so everyone calls him Bro, and he refers to his god Torag as the Big Bro.
Aww.
I'm awful. I'm a terrible role player. I don't know how I'm involved in this industry. To the extent that I am, I mean, Jesus, the Big Bro. What's wrong with me?
You should have chosen Rovagug.
Rovagug.
Yeah,
the
creepy thing that creates monsters and lives under the world.
Can dwarves worship this? He is not in the fandom Pathfinder wiki, so I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can get behind that, man. This is clearly the. But yeah, we're doing that Monday at noon. I'll throw the YouTube link up. People should come watch us. It's fun. Usually it's fun, right, Jacob?
Yes, I have enjoyed the games. They're often quite fun.
Even for audience members. So, oh shoot, are we gonna play on Labor Day?
Well, it's entirely up to you. I'm not sure whether or not I'll be available because I have got just a lot of stuff on my plate right now. So, more than likely I'll be on the sidelines.
You could be the voice. You could be the voice of Torag.
Dude, Don't. Nah, bro. Nah.
That would actually be perfect. All right, so
Torag, guide me. I got nothing, man. I'm kind of busy right now. I'm forging. Yeah, that's what. Hear the clanging? Hear the clanging sound? Yeah, I'm forging. You got this. It's all on you, bro.
I am yeah. Just that's all bro speak. He's the bro god. I got God things going on right now, bro. You know, bro.
This kind of reminds me of a game I did. So I did some impromptu art for. There was a live play game that was put out by Zombie Orpheus Entertainment called Masters of the Metaverse, and in one of these they went to their world of Fartherall, which is the world where takes place in like their movies, The Gamers and The Gamers Darkness Rising and all that, and they're supposed to rescue this infant goddess, but they're constantly being attacked by the clerics of the infant goddess's older brother, who he's supposed to be this great, amazing god one day, but right now he's a teenager, and he's kind of a douche. So they refer to his clerics as the Chads. And when the clerics of this god first come to attack the party, he's like, I have a message to you from my Lord on high. Please don't make me say this. Okay, fine. Yes, I'll say it. You're all a bunch of little whiny crybaby bitches. I'm going to fuck your mother. You all have tiny dicks.
So more of an Old Testament Yahweh than a New Testament mellow guy, right?
Please, Lord, don't make me say this.
Did you ever hear the story of Glycon?
I don't believe I have.
Oh, okay. You familiar with the writings of Mr. Alan Moore?
I am familiar with the writings of Mr. Alan Moore. He's rather hit or miss in my opinion of him.
Well, I hear Jason Tondro's head exploding somewhere out there on the internet, but yeah, I would probably agree with you. This is Glycon.
Okay.
Glycon is the god that Alan Moore says he worships. And Glycon is, well, if you read the Wikipedia entry, it's this guy who's basically a con artist shows up in a, I think it's ancient Roman city. And he claims that this snake with a beautiful blonde mane of hair will be born in 3 days underneath the temple of Apollo. And lo and behold, in 3 days, he produces an egg that hatches and produces this snake that can miraculously talk. And he founds this whole cult. And basically, he's a ventriloquist. And the historian writing about it said, and this particular story serves as an example of how people of that city were very gullible. And Alan Moore picked that god to be his god, just as kind of an inspiration for creativity. That you can make something from nothing and make it appeal to people. Okay. That's my understanding. So, yeah, that's one of my favorite. That's the kind of god I would like to have in Dungeons and Dragons. But people want to have, real serious deities like Torag. So,
there have to be other gods out there. Because D&D is inherently pantheistic. So there have to be minor gods out there.
You would think so.
So, because if gods are what create the foundation of the world, and and all that, then there have to be those minor gods that are all about, I'm the god of this, of smutty artwork.
Rainy Tuesdays. And
Yes.
exotic flavors of Kit Kat. See, it all ties back to cats. That's how you know this is a quality podcast, ladies and gentlemen. All right, I misstated Alan Moore's spirituality. Let me amend that. Straight from Wikipedia, so you know it's true. Following his coming out as a magician in 1993, the English comic book writer and occultist Alan Moore has declared himself a devotee of Glycon, preferring the belief in a hoax deity because he is not likely to start believing that the glove puppet created the universe or something dangerous like that. Well, that seems perfectly English and sensible when you phrase it that way.
Uh-huh.
And the cult of Glycon was large and influential in the Roman Empire in the 2nd century.
Uh-huh.
So, yeah, that might be the most successful ventriloquist in history.
Well, I have to give it to him, because if you got people worshiping the thing that they were mimicking or parroting, just okay, let it have it.
It worked for John Smith and L. Ron Hubbard. So, that is a cute cat, Jacob.
Thank you.
That's nice work there.
Thank you.
Those are nice eyes. I like the light spot you have there.
Thank you. I always want to give little kitties expressive eyes.
I remember when you sent me some draft art. Sometimes you put in them using thought bubbles.
Yeah, that is often a thing that I will do for rough drafts.
What would be the most amusing thought bubble this cat could have?
Well, it's a cat, so it's likely something to do with food.
I was thinking it'd be hilarious if his thought bubble said, "Does Wayne Brady have to cut a bitch?" But that's a dated pop culture reference, folks. Sorry.
Yeah.
Not up to our usual standards here on the BAM podcast. I see you have a cheeseburger. I also like cheeseburgers. Maybe, I don't know. Jacob, I've got it. Roll for perception.
Oh, that's so good.
Thanks for indulging me because I thought it was kind of terrible. But
hey, I hang out with Owen Stevens, and if you want a man who would just drop a pun on you with a moment's notice, that's Owen. He's pretty notorious.
Yeah, I've witnessed a little bit of that.
So there is a cute little kitten.
All right. Well, I had a good time. Did you have a good time?
I had fun. Yes.
Okay. Well, hey, let's play the outro music. And folks, thanks for checking out our second episode of Chatting and Drawing with Jacob Blackmon. And we will be back in the next week or two to do some more of this. Jacob, any closing thoughts before I wrap it up?
If you enjoy this content, please support the BAM Podcast Patreon. Every little bit helps. And I also have a Patreon myself, patreon.com/Jacob Blackmon.
Perfect. Thanks a lot, folks. Catch you next time on the BAM Podcast.